Ambari and Etosha were born in South Africa, and that's a little bit unique within our collection. Most of the animals were first off born in captivity, which they were as well, but also born in the United States. We've got some really fantastic breeding programs, we work really cooperatively, and ultimately we're pretty self-sustaining in our populations. We actually decided in 2004 to do an importation of lions as a way of bringing in some new genes. It serves as gene flow. It allows us to keep healthy populations and make sure that the genetic diversity is high. And these were two of that original importation for the opening of Lion Camp up at our Wild Animal Park, actually. Etosha and Ambari are the biggest cats here at the zoo. Etosha is a robust 390 pounds. She's a really big girl. Ambari, though, is the biggest cat in our total collection, between the zoo and the Wild Animal Park. Ambari is 430 pounds. Move over a little bit so you guys can hopefully get an opportunity to get some pictures of him, too. Besides being a big cat, he is a beautiful cat. They're both beautiful cats, but Ambari is just about the most beautiful lion you're going to find.
Oh!
Be licking my chops.
I like how big they're strong and like they have big.
So we do a lot of work with Ambari and Etosha. Clearly we don't go in with Ambari and Etosha. They'd probably make a meal out of us really fast. But we spend a lot of time with them. They end up hand feeding most of their food as a way of maintaining a good relationship with the individuals. We want to have that rapport with the animals. We do a lot of behavioral training, so you jokingly said sit. They actually do know, they both know several body positions. They'll lay down, they'll sit up, they'll stand up on the fence and present the pads of their feet so we can look at the pads of their feet. They'll both do an open mouth behavior on cue where we'll ask them for open mouth so we can examine their teeth. They'll do a side-up behavior where they lean into the fence on either side. They do quite a few things. Hey folks, this is actually a private tour, so if you guys could go back around to the other side, appreciate it. Thank you. We've been working on hand injections with the cats, so not only our husbandry behavior, stuff that we want to focus on, stuff that gets them involved in their own care, it makes our day-to-day easier, we also focus on a lot of vet care stuff. And so hand injections is a great thing. If they're going to need injections, which they will, having them voluntarily accept it and have it not be a stressful event is the ideal. That's how we want to do it. We just recently started blood draws. I know you guys are familiar with the great apes. You were just up there with the gorillas. The great apes, they can do a lot with blood draws with great apes. It's a little different with cats. You probably don't want to take blood out of their forearm. That's where all the sharp claws and teeth happen to be. So what we do is we actually take blood from their tail. We do it with our tigers, and we just started training these guys for that. What you do is you get it desensitized to handling their tail. They've got a nice long vein that runs through their tail, so it's a good opportunity to take blood. And that will be something, that'll be a handy tool for vets when we get to that point. We're not quite there yet, but we are just started working on it.
How old did you say they are?
They're 6 years old,
Oh,
so
six,
6 and a half actually. They'll
And
be
what's their
7.
life expectancy in captivity like this?
So in the wild, it wouldn't be a super
No.
long lifespan. Maybe between 10 and 14 years,
Yeah.
depending on whether you're male or female. In a captive situation, though, with good optimal nutrition, which is what they're going to receive, great health care, which is what they're going to receive, we would expect them to have a lifespan of around 20 years. With some of the big cats creeping on into the early and mid-20s. So they get a pretty significant increase in captivity.
Yeah. Huh.
Do I know when their birthday is? One of their birthdays in September and one's in October, but I don't remember the dates off the top of my head. They're fall babies, both of them. Etosha is about a month older than Ambari.
How much does?
Oh, so she's a cougar.
Ambari is 430 pounds. He's the biggest cat in our collection.
He's
God.
beautiful.
In terms of personality, Etosha is pretty even keel, pretty sweet. She's still a lion. We don't forget that she's a lion. She'd probably still hurt us if we went in there with her, but she is a pretty easygoing girl, and so we don't have a lot of aggression with her. Ambari can be really good, and he's been pretty good for this, the hand feeding and that kind of thing. We get a lot of this kind of behavior, but he is a big male cat, and he kind of runs the show here as far as he's concerned. We're all doing what he wants us to do, and so he can be aggressive and he can be showy. And I've had him snarl at me and spit in my face and lunge and paw at me. All sorts of things to let me know he wasn't happy with what was going on at that moment. In my opinion,